Welcome back, everyone. So glad you are here with us for our second presentation of Franchise Times Prime Time. Next up, I would like to welcome Mark Jameson of Fastsigns. Mark, you can take it from here.
Thank you, Mary Jo, and thank you very much to Franchise Times for including Fastsigns in this great presentation today. I'm excited to talk to you about Fastsigns and share with you a little bit about our brand. As Mary Jo mentioned, my name is Mark Jameson. I'm the Chief Support and Development Officer for Fastsigns International. And then at the end, we recently acquired a new brand, so I'm going to actually throw out another opportunity that I'm going to share with you as well that we're equally as excited about. Let's first talk high level about Fastsigns and what it looks like today. We are the global leader in the sign and graphics business. We have 735 locations today in 9 countries. Despite that, we still have opportunity for growth with over 400 open markets in the US. What do people love about this model? Number one, it's low staffing requirements. Typically, a new Fastsign center starts with 3 employees. And then ads, it's a very scalable business. So as you add a graphic designer, you add outside salespeople. It's really a sales-driven opportunity today. We work business to business hours, so nothing against the folks in the restaurant business, but there's nothing about being in the Monday through Friday business, closed on weekends. You know, we may do occasional installs and other things, but this is a lifestyle business for many people that want to spend time with family and kids and that type of thing. And so it's exciting from that perspective. The other thing that's really nice about our business is we're dealing with professional business-to-business clients. Even though our locations are high profile and highly visible, we're not a consumer business. We really are serving other businesses. And dealing with B2B customers is way more enjoyable, and there's a wow factor for them. And then this is a high margin business. We disclose in our disclosure document an average profitability or owner's discretionary cash flow of just about 21%. But our top performers, the top quartile, which we also disclose, is over 30% owner's discretionary profit. I want to share real quickly about all of our awards and rankings. We're very proud as a company and as a management team about what we've achieved. I think we're particularly proud. We just again got named #1 in our category by Entrepreneur Magazine. So we're proud of that now 5 years in a row. The only one in the industry ranked in the top 100. And we actually picked up some space there. We're a big veteran-friendly franchise. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And in addition to that, we're highly rated by third parties for franchise satisfaction, both Franchise Business Review, as well as the Canadian Franchise Association. And that really just says a lot about the team we have supporting our global franchisees. I mentioned veterans, that we're a veteran-friendly franchise. We're such a veteran-friendly franchise. About 14% of our network are veterans. And part of that is because that creates a great group that likes to work together and they refer other veterans. But a big part of it is we offer a 50% discount off of our franchise fee of $49,750 to any veteran or first responder who wants to become part of the Fastsigns network. We are led by an amazing CEO, Catherine Monson. She has been our CEO since 2009. I joined the company shortly after that. She is also the chairwoman of the International Franchise Association. And so what that really goes to is the fact that we are a company that focuses very much on franchise relations, unit level economics, and driving profitability for our franchisees. And Catherine is oftentimes very visible and an advocate for small businesses and franchising, and has been featured in a number of different areas. So very excited about that. One of the things that Catherine did when she came on board was lay out 4 key strategic objectives. This is our roadmap. This is what we live and breathe every day at Fastsigns. The first and foremost is we focus on driving franchisee profitability. While we get paid on sales, franchisees need profitability to reinvest in their business, to grow their business. And so that's our first focus. I manage both the development and the support teams. And so I'm excited that that's a big part of who we are. Additionally, we want to drive volume, increase the value of the brand. We have about a $14 million national advertising fund. We're able to do national TV and marketing. That's one way to drive the brand. Well, we also have a 20-plus person marketing team here at our headquarters in Dallas that focuses on driving franchisees' individual volumes and other factors. And then franchise satisfaction is our fourth key strategic, not in the order of importance, but we work really hard to make sure that our franchisees are happy, and we work with them and align with them very well. I'm really pleased that during the pandemic, not only were we an essential business, which means we didn't close, we stayed open and we were able to operate fully. But what was really important is that our franchisees came together and really drove much of our business for us. I want to talk a little bit about the brand and our brand promise. Oops, I skipped ahead there too much, sorry. And that is that, Fastsigns is more than fast and more than signs. So we're not that corner sign shop selling banners and yard signs. We really are focused on bigger solutions. We're a visual ideas company, so we don't like to talk about signs. We like to talk about visual ideas. I'm going to show you examples of all of the things that we can do as a company, and they're way more detailed than most people realize. Our marketing savvy consultant creates solutions. Those are our franchisees and our outside salespeople and what they do every day. These are our products and services, and we divide everything we sell into three broad categories. First are what I like to think of as the high-level visibility strategies. And those are the thinking things. We like to get involved early. We like to get involved in construction before the building is built so we can help with wayfinding and design and regulatory signage, as well as branding. That ultimately leads to project services, which is things like graphic design, content development for digital signage. We help for our customers as well, survey and permitting and installation. So when people think of our business and compare it to I can buy signs on the internet, they're really not thinking of those things that involve going out and installing and measuring and quality and all those factors. That's what we do today. And even as strong as the internet is in selling signage, Fastsigns has really continued to grow and see great success. And then ultimately that ends up in a product solution, which is the end result of what we sell for the customer. I talked a little bit earlier about the pandemic and our reaction to it as we're a solutions provider. Our franchisees came together in an amazing way. Not only were we able to, with our equipment, to be able to produce masks, and you can see shields, but we were also able to do safety shields, which is now not really anything temporary. We think that's going to be permanent. And a lot of our centers really stepped up to thank the heroes and the first responders with signage and visual graphics. And that really made us feel a big part of the community. Being part of Fastsigns is as much about being part of a community, and that's really where our franchisees succeed. I also like to talk a little bit about broader projects. This is about a $600,000 project a franchisee did in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And you can see we did everything from an outdoor giant electrical board, digital signage, scoreboard, as well as regulatory signage, which isn't as exciting, but is needed by everybody before they can even open their building. Wall graphics, floor graphics, and banners. I take that to this next opportunity here. Company in Boca Raton, Florida. Our franchisee here was a company moving to the United States, and they wanted their branding. So we did everything here. This was a blank space, from the backlit signage to the wall graphics to the floor graphics to the digital signage with content on it. And so we like to think of these as broad solutions, and these are what we do for our customers. It's not about selling the basic signs. It's about consulting and helping people with their brand and extending their brand through visual presentations. I want to talk a little bit about how we position ourselves in the industry. I'm particularly proud that, as I mentioned earlier, we are the dominant player in this industry and continuing to grow. Domestically, we're now over 640 locations. We're opening about 3 to 5 a month. And you can see that what's really impressive is the 3-year net openings. That's openings minus any closings. And we have a very successful track record, 3 years, just over 70 locations today. And you can see compared to our competitors, virtually none of them are anywhere near that space. That isn't about being a better brand. I think it's about the support we provide. It is about a brand that's top of mind and our 35-year history of value and an amazing management team led by Catherine Monson. I mentioned a little bit earlier about our $14+ million advertising fund. We are the only brand in the industry that is able to afford to do marketing, and we do that today in politics. Whether you're on the left or the right, we try to hit everybody. We focus on news because business people are our customers, and they're typically going to news to find out what's happening in the world and how it's impacting their business. And so we advertise virtually every week of the year on Fox News and CNBC and MSNBC and CNN, really just to remind people who we are and drive traffic to our centers. And we know that it works. In addition to that, we also have a big spend on local internet drive marketing, and we build a local campaign for our franchisees. One of the things that's great about this business is our marketing team. You don't need to know this business. We support you across the board, from having your own website to social media to Facebook posts and all sorts of things, including blogs. And if I take a look at this slide, this really talks about all of the areas we drive marketing and leads for our franchisees. It starts with us building an initial marketing campaign with them that drives leads to them. That leads to pay-per-click, which is digital marketing advertising, and then requests for quotes off of our website. I already talked about national TV. Because of our network size, our franchisees are able to work. So if I'm a franchisee in Dallas, Texas, and I have a customer in Palm Springs, California, I'm able to send that information to them, and they work and support each other. That's the peer-to-peer part that's so important in our business for national rollouts and brand protection. And then we monitor our customer service leads through a system called Listen 360, so that our franchisees have daily immediate access to customer feedback, satisfaction, and that allows us to stay on top of it as a brand to make sure that we're represented very well in the market. All automated through our point of sale system. All of these things work together to make it easy for our franchisees to focus on driving business. You don't have to be in the sign and graphics business to be a Fastsigns franchisee. In fact, we almost prefer you aren't. We want C-level people that are sales drivers that want to be engaged in their community, and in many cases are looking for multi-generational businesses. We have sell sheets by industry, by category. So we really set you up so that when you go out and you talk to a customer, you know what they buy, who to talk to, and this is across all of our channels there. Initially, training is 4 weeks. We offer 1 week of a mentor location, 2 weeks typically at our headquarters in Dallas. Today, that's all being done virtual and very successful. I'm happy to say it may be a change for us partially in the future. And then every single new franchisee is assigned a new center business consultant. That person is solely focused on new centers for the first 6 months because we know they need a higher level of care and support. And then you become part of our business consultant team. But ongoing support, I think, is where we really shine. We have 120 employees that really focus on driving our franchisees' success. And that's everything from regional training to boot camps for sales and sales leadership, so franchisees know how to drive a sales force. And an online university with over 500 classes. And then on a 4 to 6 week basis, we have what we call Connect with Catherine, which is an open town hall webinar all of our franchisees come to, where we launch new programs and we talk about what's hot in the industry and we share successes. During the pandemic, we actually moved those calls weekly, and our entire executive team was with our franchisees on those calls weekly, helping them achieve PPP loans and helping them really get through everything they needed to be successful. And I'm proud to say that we've weathered that storm well. We continue to really pivot our signage and products to meet those needs. I think our centers are good looking. I may be a little bit selfish. This is a center in Cleveland. We start at about 12 to 1,500 square feet, typically a pretty good, simple, clean build out. We like high profile locations for visibility, part of the presence. Pretty quick, simple space. You can see the front has a small lobby area where we greet customers and do quoting and other things. The back is all production. It's open. It's one big space. And then we try to negotiate first right of refusal on adjacent space because our business does tend to grow pretty quickly as you build that B2B customer base. I like to say this is not your father's sign shop. If you all remember sign shops, you might have walked in years ago and they're crowded and they're cluttered and they're not well lit, and you kind of question if you're ever going to get a sign out of it. These are 2 stores, one here in Arlington, Texas, one in Appleton, Wisconsin. As you can see, well lit, very inviting. This says to the customer that we can help you with your branding and we can help you with everything you need in our industry. Once we're open and operating, we like to focus on 3 main drivers of the business. And those drivers are, how do we get you to grow in other ways? One of those is we have an entire program and a team that helps franchisees acquire independent sign shops or a book of business that they can roll into their business and grow it. And that's been very successful for us. You add additional salespeople. We're not a multi-unit franchise. We're an owner-operator driven business. That's what we're seeking. We're not looking for people generally to do multi-units, but you add and grow the business for hiring outside salespeople. When you see our disclosure document, you'll be shocked at some of the sales numbers that our top performing centers do if you should get forward. And that's because they add salespeople. They don't need more brick and mortars. They don't need additional locations. We are out with our customers selling to them directly. And then in the first quarter of this year, we're going to launch a significant e-commerce strategy. While we already are able to sell online, we're focused more on selling private catalogs for companies that want to have a private place to go with their logo and everything in place. And now for, I guess I'm going to say, a special announcement. In September of last year, we acquired a great little emerging brand called Nerds to Go. Nerds to Go is a franchise that we are now selling, and the same team that's behind the success of Fastsigns is working on Nerds to Go, and I'll spend a few minutes on it. Nerds to Go was started in 2003 with a company store in Guilford, Connecticut. Today, it sits at about 25 locations. We expect to grow this to 500 locations in the next 5 years. Wide open opportunity, great chance to get in on the ground floor. And as part of that, we created a holding company called Propelled Brands. And so now Propelled Brands will be the driver and will be the central holding company platform business, if you will, for both Fastsigns and Nerds to Go, and potentially down the road, other businesses that we believe we can drive and add value to with the management team that we have. I'm excited about that. That announcement is just coming out. So Fastsigns, so Franchise Times is one of the first to hear about this new holding company, and you're all a part of that now. I'm going to talk real quickly here about it. So today, Nerds to Go, 26 locations, 16 states. We expect to open 30 this year. Similar in ways to Fastsigns, which was appealing to us. Low staffing, you start with 3 people. Very scalable business model. You add employees as you need to. Small spaces, 900 square feet, because we do have walk-in traffic. So we handle in this model, unlike others in the space, we're dealing with both the direct to consumer for break fix and other things, but we're also going after business customers and targeting reoccurring revenue through that business customer model. Again, like Fastsigns, you do not need to do anything in the sign and in the sign business for Fastsigns, and you don't need to be an IT executive to own a Nerds to Go. We teach it, we train it, and we drive it. So we're just looking for people that want to build a great business, want to be engaged in their local community. And like all of our brands today, we will provide support on Nerds to Go, starting from real estate to site selection to training and opening, technology, and then of course marketing and sales development. We'll build a local campaign, and then we'll drive that program with our franchisees. We want our franchisees focused on driving the model, hiring good people, building culture, and driving sales. We've got an intense level of support to help you do all that. This chart shows where we sit in the industry. And unlike others that are in this space, either doing break fix or on the B2B side, what we love about Nerds to Go, as I mentioned earlier, is they support not only the consumer customer, the residential customer with in-person visits at their locations or walk-in break fix, but then we serve the B2B customer. And that's where Fastsigns is going to bring value to Nerds to Go, because the team at Propelled Brands, that is Fastsigns, we know business to business, and that's the part of this business we're going to focus on driving on. I want to talk about sort of real quickly the 4 pillars of this business. So as we look at where we're headed, we're going to drive managed IT services. That's helping companies, small companies, typically under 50, maybe up to 100, with managing their IT service for a monthly reoccurring fee. And that's great revenue for our franchisees and creates a stickiness to that customer. Obviously, that's going to cover everything from email to backup and disaster recovery. Today, everything's in the cloud, and we can support our franchisees with new programs, products, emails, everything in the cloud. And so if you take a look at that and say, wow, what are the things we do? Today, everything in your house, if the internet goes down, you can't control your thermostats, you can't open your garage door, you probably can't turn on your alarm. And so we help with everything in the home that's related to technology. So that is home automation. That is just taking care of a printer that maybe doesn't work. It is some break fix, as I talked about earlier. But then if we take that to the business environment, we're really going to do everything to help those small and medium businesses who don't have a CIO in place or don't have somebody in the technology side. We're your outsourced technology partner, very similar to Fastsigns, where we're really almost your outsourced advertising agency. And that's why we felt this brand worked very, very well for us. And you can see all of the things that we can do, from laying out a system and designing a system to helping fix it and maintain it and make sure that it is doing things the right way. I want to talk a little bit about how we support our franchisees there as well. Today, we've got our marketing team working on creating some great new materials as we begin to drive and focus on B2B. Prior to us acquiring the brand, much more of the focus was on the consumer direct business, and that's great. We're going to continue that. That's where Break Fix fits in. But we really see the opportunity is with B2B and driving that customer, which is reoccurring and is really a good part of the business. So I just want to say, first off, I'm going to look at some questions over here before I wrap up. So let's see here. What tools are you using to determine market potential, number of units, specific geographies? We have a pretty advanced system we use for Fastsigns. We look for 4,000 business counts in a tight radius, so it's based on business counts. For Nerds to Go, we're looking at a population of 100,000. But both of these models are driven by outside sales. They're not demographic-driven models. They tend to be more B2B. So we need to have a good base of businesses. We need to have a decent population. And with those two factors, we can work very, very well together. One question I did have earlier that I'll run to real quickly is on financing. We have an alliance with both brands. For both brands, our net worth requirements are $300,000 with $80,000 liquid. And typically, if those two factors, good credit, we have a financing place, a direct lending program that we can help through an SBA direct lending program. How is the commercial real estate market right now for finding a location to open a Fastsigns? I think, as everybody knows, with the pandemic, what we're very lucky about at Propelled Brands, Fastsigns and Nerds to Go, both of our businesses were essential, which means they didn't close. They remained open. And in fact, Nerds to Go had a record year last year because everybody began to work remote. How do I work remote? What do I do? How do I get set up for that? And those are the things that we're able to do. So finding real estate today for us is really not a challenge. There are, unfortunately, businesses that are struggling. And so we're actually finding an easier time to find sites. For Fastsigns, we'll look at both retail, high visibility, even some commercial spaces, 12 to 1,500 to start with the ability to grow. For Nerds to Grow, we are still typically looking for high profile visible real estate. We will look at some office industrial as well, and we're looking to be about 900 to 1,000 square feet is ideal. And so we've generally not had any issue in finding sites there. So I think in wrap up, I just want to say this is our team. This is who we are. We'll have to change the name on the building to Propelled Brands to reflect both. But I'm really proud of the 120 people that we have here in Dallas and around the world supporting our franchisees in North America and other factors. My email address is there. You can contact me directly for either one of the brands, and we'll share opportunities. But we are ready to grow. With Fastsigns, we have over 450 open markets in North America. You can see on the website, we have those listed. For Nerds to Go with 23, I'm not listing them because we're open everywhere. So again, I want to say thank you, Mary Jo, and thank you, Franchise Times, for including Fastsigns, Nerds to Go, and Propelled Brands in your presentation today.
Mark, thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it, and for that informative presentation. Thank you for being with us. We are so glad to have our audience with us today as well. Stay there, and we will be right back with our next presentation at 11:15 Central Time.